Welcome to the 2021 ASHRAE Virtual Annual Conference. At this time, I declare the meeting of the members officially open. I would like to start off by giving special thanks to all of our volunteers and especially members of the Conferences and Expositions Committee who have put in so much time preparing our third virtual ASHRAE conference. Over 300 committee and subcommittee meetings have already taken place in the few weeks leading up to this conference. I am amazed that you, our members, have been able to shift and continue the work of our industry and the society virtually during this pandemic. The chair of this conference, Christine Reinders, said it best when she said, "Our world has experienced fundamental change in the wake of the global COVID-19 pandemic. The HVAC community continues to respond, addressing challenges in how we design, build, and operate buildings. We continue to evolve, adapt, and innovate, confronting these challenges head-on." The 2021 ASHRAE Virtual Annual Conference will focus on critical environments, future-proofing, and fundamentals. The technical program, including the first ever completely virtual Research Summit, fosters sharing of knowledge to allow us all to serve our communities and solve our world's greatest challenges. This is certainly an unparalleled time in history, and I am thankful for all the hard work that members and our speakers have given to still provide such an extensive technical program that will be available to all registered attendees through a series of live and on-demand sessions. The much anticipated design, control, and operation of critical environments track will address innovative designs and strategies that adapt to the standards and special requirements presented by healthcare, clean rooms, data centers, laboratories, isolation rooms, and pharmacies. Throughout the conference, you can join our interactive sessions, which include forums, panels, roundtables, and meetups. These sessions will be hosted via Zoom, and attendees will have the opportunity to turn their mic and webcams on and interact with presenters directly for meaningful discussions. I would like to draw your attention to a few highly anticipated sessions. The first is the Fundamentals of Climate Change seminar, taking place immediately following this session. ASHRAE's Epidemic Task Force will provide a keynote address at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow titled "The COVID-19 Pandemic and Built Environment, Update on ASHRAE's Response," followed by an update on the progress of the Task Force on Building Decarbonization at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. New to the virtual annual conference and included in your registration fee is access to indoor air quality and ASHRAE Standards 62.1, a 3-hour ASHRAE Learning Institute course brought to you by the ASHRAE Global Training Center in Dubai. This course will be held on Wednesday, June 30th from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time so that our members in Europe, the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa, and other members across the globe have the opportunity to engage live during convenient times. You do not want to miss this special opportunity to attend an ALI course normally worth $120, included in your registration fee. You also do not want to miss the announcement of the election results as well as a virtual installation ceremony for the new 2021-2022 members of the Board of Directors and 2021-2022 President Mick Schwedler's presidential address on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. To close the technical program, join us for the Research Summit, made up of 12 one-hour sessions for authors of conference papers to present a summary of their paper. The sessions will be presented in a rapid-fire style, allowing each presenting author to summarize their paper in 2 minutes with one slide. There will be up to 8 presenters per session. After the paper summaries, all authors will be available for an interactive Q&A hosted via Zoom with conference attendees. The conference will officially close on Wednesday evening with a performance from our favorite member band, the Psychometrics. Grab your beverage of choice, your family, and turn up the volume for a fun closing concert performed by ASHRAE members. Lastly, don't forget to check out the sponsor hall each day and interact with our sponsors. There will also be a series of sponsored technology demonstrations available to attendees where you can learn more about a sponsoring company's latest technology and have the opportunity to ask questions throughout. For a schedule of all sessions that are presented live this week, visit the theater section of the virtual environment and add reminders to your calendar for the live sessions you would like to attend. Again, thank you for joining us this week. We are so glad you are here with us.
Welcome to the 2021 ASHRAE Virtual Annual Conference. ASHRAE volunteers and staff have worked really hard to present a great virtual conference showcasing the latest building systems and design trends. During this period of unprecedented change, count on ASHRAE to keep you technology relevant and connected to the greatest network of engineering professionals in the building industry. Thank you for being here and for being a part of the ASHRAE community. We've received really good feedback about virtual events just like this annual conference, but we cannot wait for the ASHRAE community to reconvene in person. Plans for the January 2022 ASHRAE Winter Conference and AHR Expo in Las Vegas are well underway. And if you have any doubts about whether the industry is ready to reconvene in January, let me share some facts with you. Fully 90% of the 498,000 net square feet of AHR Expo exhibit space available in Las Vegas is already sold. That's 1,200 exhibiting companies already under contract. Additionally, more than 57,000 hotel nights at the AHR Expo Las Vegas room block are already sold, and that's 7% more hotel room nights than were under contract heading into the Orlando meeting in January 2020. The ASHRAE room block at Caesars Palace will open in the early fall. We may have had to cancel the show and the face-to-face winter conference this past January, but we are headed back to Las Vegas with a vengeance. Put it on your calendar today. January 29th to February 2nd, we'll see you in Las Vegas. And before you join us in Vegas, we also want to see you at the AHR Expo Mexico in Monterrey, September 21st through the 23rd. This will be the 15th installment of the Mexico show, and it has really grown. There will be 350 exhibiting companies from 14 different countries occupying 75,000 net square feet of exhibit space. More than 11,000 people are expected to participate in the Monterey show. And in mid-November, we are also planning a formal grand opening of ASHRAE's new Net Zero Energy headquarters in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. After moving in last October, we are finishing up the PV system that will help get us to net zero energy performance. Your volunteer headquarters ad hoc committee is also finalizing an online dashboard that will allow you to monitor your building's performance in real time. In the interim, check out a video technical tour of the building on ASHRAE's website. We cannot wait for you to visit your new building, so watch for details about that grand opening this fall. The 2020-2021 Society Year that we conclude at this meeting has been remarkable in so many ways. Have no doubt that the Society's work has continued unabated during the pandemic. This past year, we published 30 new or revised standards and guidelines and fielded more than 4,400 individual technical inquiries. The popular Distinguished Lecturers Program supported 254 presentations, all of them virtual. Thank you to those DLs for sharing your wisdom with the ASHRAE community. We raised some $2.4 million in contributions and awarded $227,000 in scholarships. A special shout out to the hundreds of volunteers that helped raise those funds through the research promotion campaign and the more than 5,000 members and organizations that made contributions. In addition to the virtual winter and annual conference, we ran 3 virtual topical conferences this past year, and ASHRAE's government affairs team has been very productive with 72 virtual or in-person outreach events at the federal, state, and local levels. We've run 103 total education courses and expanded the total number of courses in the e-learning portal to 93, encompassing 252 hours of training. Altogether, more than 14,000 people took advantage of ASHRAE education and training opportunities this past year. The pandemic has driven a slight decline in membership this past year, but ASHRAE remains a resilient global network of some 52,000 members, 199 chapters, and 447 active student branches. As you would expect, our society's financial performance also has hit a few speed bumps over the past 12 months, but we have strong financial reserves to see us through the pandemic, and next year's budget calls for an operating surplus. This past year, ASHRAE also has made significant contributions to the global battle against COVID-19. As airborne transmission of SARS-CoV-2 is better understood, technical guidance from ASHRAE's Epidemic Task Force, or ETF, chaired by Dr. Bill Baumfleff, is making global headlines. The ETF's work has generated some 7.8 billion media impressions, including references in 420 news articles and responses to 160 media requests. Be sure to visit the ASHRAE ETF website for the latest pandemic guidance documents, including a residential epidemic preparedness guide that has just been added. And you won't want to miss tomorrow's keynote session, The COVID-19 Pandemic and the Built Environment, Update on ASHRAE's Response. The live session starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow and is presented by members of the Epidemic Task Force. Many scientists and engineers, including some serving on the ASHRAE Epidemic Task Force, have suggested that the pandemic should forever change our perspective on airborne infection control and IAQ. Common colds, the flu, and of course COVID-19 cause immeasurable suffering and cost billions of dollars annually in lost productivity. Why do we think of respiratory illnesses conveyed by air in buildings differently than illnesses conveyed by water or by food? You can bet that ASHRAE experts will lead the development of standards and other technical guidance as we reframe IAQ in the context of other forms of environmental infections. A lot has changed for ASHRAE and for everyone this past year, and your board of directors has taken a hard look at the Society's governance model. A Society Transformation Ad Hoc Committee created by President Chuck Gullidge is developing governance recommendations to reduce bureaucracy and create a more nimble, responsive organization. You can expect to hear more about that proposed governance change later this year. ASHRAE's member benefits also are expanding in response to member and market demands, and to President Gullidge's call for a more digitally driven organization. Beginning next month, instead of automatically receiving a printed ASHRAE handbook each year, full members may choose to receive either a digital handbook, a standard, or an e-learning course. Member choices may change each year as new handbook volumes and as new or updated ASHRAE standards are released. These options bring member benefits flexibility that we know everyone will appreciate. You know, it has long been said that we learn a lot from prosperity, but that we learn even more from adversity. And we have all learned a lot, maybe too much, this past year. ASHRAE has pivoted and adapted, and our society will emerge from the pandemic stronger and more influential than ever before. Thank you to the thousands of ASHRAE volunteers at the chapter, regional, and society levels that have sustained our society during these remarkable circumstances. One volunteer in particular embodies the relentless spirit and enthusiasm that has kept ASHRAE moving through this difficult period. President Chuck Gullidge has led ASHRAE through what is arguably the most challenging and difficult year in our society's 125-year history. So many difficult, gut-wrenching decisions had to be made about the allocation of society resources, about meetings, about policies and programs, all in a world turned upside down. We are so very lucky that President Gullidge has been there to guide ASHRAE through the pandemic minefield. Ever the polished statesman, President Gullidge has consistently been calm and determined in the face of unbridled adversity. His upbeat, can-do attitude and enthusiasm has inspired volunteers and staff to not only persevere, but to leverage the lessons learned in the virtual world to make ASHRAE better. And that aligns perfectly with President Gullidge's theme, the ASHRAE Digital Lighthouse and Industry 4.0. Following that theme, President Gullidge has dedicated countless hours connecting with members, chapters, and industry partners virtually. Despite the pandemic, ASHRAE is a better organization today than it was 12 months ago, thanks to President Gullidge's leadership. Jokingly, my phone conversations with President Gullidge this year often started with his saying, "Jeff, this was not in the program." That was followed quickly by, "No, we've got this. Here's the plan." President Gullidge has been the leader ASHRAE needed to guide the society through the past 12 months. And so the next time you see him, thank President Gullidge for being ASHRAE's lighthouse in this pandemic storm. Making his final address as your Society Year 2020-2021 ASHRAE President, it is my high honor to introduce ASHRAE President Chuck Gullidge.
Plow, plant, maintain, and harvest. Simple words that carry so much meaning. Strung together, they describe a natural process, a process that can't be cheated. In delivery of built solutions jargon, we refer to this as flow. My enlightenment to natural flow can be attributed to my grandparents on my mother's side. One was an immigrant to America, a man that was not afraid to embrace change. The other, a woman born and raised on the farm. These beautiful people of the land revealed to me the proper order of events, who owned the commitments along the path, and how to be a responsible steward of the collective process. They showed me how to deliver value and eliminate waste. Nothing was wasted. Rainwater was captured from sheet flow off the barn into barrels for watering crops. Vines, husks, and plant tops were all collected for composting to support soil improvement for the next cycle. I dare say that my evolution to the engineering world began here. Harvested potatoes were stored in the dark, cool basement of our rock barn. Beans and cucumbers were all canned. This was my first exposure to steam and thermodynamics. Corn was shaved and frozen for long-term use. The cold chain was a living way of life for me before I even knew what the term meant. As you have discovered, my humble beginnings were the inspiration for our 2020-2021 Society theme, the ASHRAE Digital Lighthouse and Industry 4.0. But let's pause and reflect on the challenges we face. Our workflows are ripe with waste. Whether it's looking for information, engaging in conflict resolution, dealing with mistakes, or performing rework, we waste economy and time. The construction industry is a flat ecosystem. Data reflects that our productivity growth is poor. Stagnation is costly. Our ecosystem is one of the least digitized sectors in the world. We allow knowledge to go dark and become lost. And sadly, we remain shackled to the analog age and the dance of the silos. Border protection impedes optimization of the whole. We manually recreate knowledge and establish unnecessary touch points. We rarely consider economy and time as inputs to design. We rely on paper for everything. Paper consumes time. We still attempt to build something from disconnected static drawings that reveal simple geometry. How did we get so efficient at being inefficient? How did we deviate from the basic fundamentals of function, form, economy, and time? How did we collectively lose track of what owners really want? Remember, ASHRAE, remember, they want us, all of us, to resolve issues virtually before they become physical, reduce the level of unknowns, provide better economy, time, certainty, deliver a complete knowledge base, and deliver something that works. I dare say that these are not onerous expectations. Opportunity lies before us to change course and fulfill conditions of satisfaction. Step one of our pivot requires all stakeholders to engage in lean collaboration. The manufacturing sector discovered years ago a reconnection to natural flow. We need to adopt what they have learned. That which does not add value is waste. We can deliver value if we only return to basic fundamentals and relational practices. Respect for team and engaging all stakeholders at inception is paramount. We must breach the silos and fragmentation barriers to optimize the whole. We must help customers define what value is. Waste must be identified and eliminated. Flow must be created, and continuous improvement must unfold. These are the basic tenets of having a robust harvest. Step two of our pivot requires embracing digital technology and connecting knowledge. It is time for us to evolve from static geometry and paper to 7D BIM and dynamic information. Templates and blocks now yield to smart objects. We now possess the tools that make virtual precision and embedded optimization a reality. Digital models allow us to fulfill owner expectations of verifying virtual physical constructability, revealing time, capturing economy, integrating performance modeling, and connecting operations and maintenance. Waste is eliminated. Productivity is improved for all. Value is delivered. Our third and final step of our pivot requires embracing all-site strategies. Collaborative teams and digital precision afford us the opportunity to challenge where facility services work results are performed, be it basic assemblies, equipment, super skids, rooms, floors, or complete buildings. Digital precision allows us to decouple the conventional supply chain. This decoupling of conventional start-to-finish flow allows us to speed up project schedules to minimize on-site overhead burdens. Consider the full benefits. Time is reduced. Vertically integrated supply chains drive costs down. Automation reduces human and material waste. Precision enhances quality control and reduces rework. Look at this from the owner's point of view. A pure value play is available, linked to enhanced economy, time, and quality. The ASHRAE Digital Lighthouse and Industry 4.0 strikes at the heart of improving experiences for all stakeholders linked to the delivery of built solutions. We must eliminate waste in our project delivery supply chains. We have to find responsible ways to increase productivity for all project participants. Knowledge must become linked and portable for the life of our built solutions, and we must break the chains that tether us to fragmentation and the analog age. Industry 4.0 and the digital age of connection provide us with a guiding lighthouse. Fragmented teams transform to collaborative. Linear process evolves to concurrent. Risk becomes collectively managed instead of individually. Compensation reward perspective changes from individually pursued to value-based for the owner. Technology evolves from paper-based to digitally networked. We are entering a world that changes everything we knew about work, workforce, and workplace relationships. Are we prepared? I have to admit that when I was preparing our theme for the 2020-2021 Society Year, I wanted to focus on the digital maturation of the HVAC ecosystem. COVID-19 changed our narrative from simple maturation to sharing the stage with force. Society Year 2020-2021 will long be remembered as the virtual year in the middle of a global pandemic. SARS-CoV-2 has been devastating to society as a whole, our industry, and many of us personally. The virus had a profound impact on me personally. I contracted the virus at the end of March 2020 and missed activities during the entire month of April of 2020, but I recovered. A former BIM manager colleague of mine was not so fortunate. He was taken from us in the fall of 2020. I know many of us have experienced similar tragedies, both professionally and personally. As a society, ASHRAE has faced unparalleled challenges. The concept of having people gather in person for events was immediately shut down. The leadership of ASHRAE took decisive and immediate steps to boldly confront this significant headwind. The 2020 annual conference, 2021 winter conference, and this week's 2021 annual conference all pivoted to a virtual format. Your ASHRAE staff has managed these pivots with precision. The 2021 AHR Expo was canceled, creating a challenging financial impact. But we have persevered through this system shock, and our future looks brighter than ever. The Distinguished Lecturer Program pivoted to virtual-only engagement. Typically, we would have approximately 250 DL engagements for the year. With all ASHRAE chapters pivoting to virtual platforms, we have eclipsed what we knew normal to mean. We are redefining what engagement can be. Your senior officers and XCOM members were not able to make in-person visits to chapters or join peer societies for critical networking and engagement opportunities. But we have not been disconnected. As your president, I have virtually attended 9 CRCs, over 150 chapters and student branches, and 7 peer societies virtually. What are the common threads revealed in our response to a virtual pivot? We have remained connected with the entire ASHRAE membership, and our broad engagement has increased. The evolution of the new ASHRAE Global Headquarters at 180 Technology Parkway continues. Since we last revealed details at the 2021 winter meeting, some exciting developments have transpired. Please join me and Presidential Snow Dude, as your ASHRAE staff has so fondly named my presidential gift, in a behind-the-scenes look at our magnificent facility. Note specifically the ongoing installation of our PV arrays. I am excited to announce that we are planning to have our official grand opening ceremony in the fall of 2021. Stay tuned to 2021-2022 President Mick Schwedler for more details as we move into the next society year. It is time for ASHRAE to join the global discussion on addressing climate change through responsible decarbonization strategies for the built environment. In March of 2021, we formed the ASHRAE Task Force for Building Decarbonization, TFBD. The sole purpose of this group is to develop technical resources and provide leadership guidance in mitigating the negative impact of buildings on the environment and the inhabitants of our planet. In a similar vein to how ASHRAE took the lead in responding to the energy crisis of the 1970s era and defined the energy efficiency journey, ASHRAE has much to offer with respect to paths for responsible decarbonization strategies. The challenges of decarbonization are complex, but this task force is positioned to offer actionable technical guidance to improve how buildings are built and operated. Technology will improve every aspect of the built environment with an integrated community of buildings and the energy systems that support our daily lives. Data-driven innovation will drive our buildings to increasingly higher performance. Integrating intelligent design, construction, and operation will transform tomorrow's built environment. I am pleased to report that the work of our ASHRAE Vision 2030 and Beyond ad hoc is complete. I encourage you to explore what the future holds by visiting the ASHRAE website. It has been my honor to serve as your president this year. The headwinds we have experienced together have refocused my understanding of what ASHRAE really is. Yes, we are a technical society, But the strength of this society is built on a bedrock foundation of volunteers contributing to the betterment of our profession and society as a whole. It is imperative that you clearly understand something very important to me. Your ASHRAE staff has endured so much during this pandemic. We have pivoted our entire engagement with members to a virtual format. We have lived through an office move. We have learned how to work remotely in a socially distanced world. Despite all these challenges, we have remained focused on providing you, our membership, the stellar service you deserve. I could not be more proud of who these people are and what we have accomplished together. I have had so many members console me with well wishes and appreciation for leading during difficult times. Some have been so blunt as to suggest the unfairness of untimely events. I can't imagine a better time to have been your president. The challenge presented were never in the program, as I like to remind our executive vice president. I can only hope that I rose to the level needed to meet the challenges we experienced together. What I have been able to do virtually would be physically and financially hard to replicate. I have attended more chapters, met more people, and experienced more local cultures than I thought possible. I was truly connected to our membership, and I have been enriched by this experience. Prepare yourself. A new vision of human digital physical engagement awaits us all. We will be stronger because of what we have learned and endured through this pandemic. This digital lighthouse of the future will shine brightly to guide us on our journey together. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for affording me the privilege of this opportunity. At this time, we will honor members who have done outstanding work promoting society and chapter activities. Here are the recipients of our personal honors. The Louise and Bill Holliday Distinguished Fellow Award honors fellows of the Society for continuing preeminence in engineering or research work. ASHRAE honors Hugo Lee.
Thank you, ASHRAE. I'm very honored to be receiving the Louis and Bill Holliday Fellow Award. It has always been a very satisfying experience to be among fellows and members of ASHRAE, seeing how this great organization has helped humankind in creating a healthy, comfortable, and sustainable building environment, and recently guided the community in fighting against COVID-19 pandemic. More than a year into the pandemic, we are welcoming a paradigm shift towards indoor air. The century of indoor air science is already here with us. The knowledge that I learned in Shanghai, Beijing, Stockholm, and Melbourne on fluid dynamics and ventilation allowed me, along with my talented students and postdocs, to study and define airborne transmission of infection since 2003 SARS epidemics. We learned how expired large droplet spread, how surface touches network, and why short-range inhalation play a predominant role in SARS-CoV-2 transmission, being governed by ventilation dilution. Having the opportunity to explore the wonders of large droplets, airflow, and interpersonal close contact is by itself a great life experience. Since early 2020, it has been very satisfying to find that our work has application in the pandemic, and how my former and present students have continued to contribute to the understanding of indoor transmission of SARS-CoV-2. A great student makes good professor. I thank my students for their wisdom, passion, and sharing their intellectual journey with me. I thank my collaborators and colleagues at the University of Hong Kong and elsewhere worldwide. I thank all those who made and helped my life. Particularly, I thank my wife, my son, and my daughter for their support, love, and understanding.
The Andrew T. Boggs Service Award recognizes past recipients of the Exceptional Service Award for continuing unselfish, dedicated, and distinguished service to the society. ASHRAE honors Arthur Hallstrom. Congratulations, Arthur. What an exciting time it is for our society. Thanks to a highly successful building campaign, donors committed more than $10.3 million in monetary support and gifts of equipment and services. As a result, ASHRAE's renovation of a 1970s-era building has become a demonstration project of our mission to promote a sustainable world. By working together on the new global headquarters building, society members, organizations, and corporate partners had an opportunity to help create a living example of existing building renovations that are economical, energy efficient, and provide superior health and human comfort while showcasing best practices. At the last two presidential luncheons, we were pleased to recognize our highest level donors. The following partners also welcomed the opportunity to support this undertaking, and they understand the long-term environmental, economic, and educational benefits of this project. And so today, it is my pleasure to recognize and thank the following organizations and corporate donors to the headquarters building project who have made either monetary or equipment and services contributions valued at $25,000 to $999,000. ASHRAE Building Ad Hoc Committee, ASHRAE College of Fellows, ASHRAE Life Members Club, Copper Tree Analytics, Pinnacle Infotech, SETI Family Foundation, Shoemate, and Technofloor. On behalf of our more than 52,000 members and the entire ASHRAE community, I would like to personally thank these organizations and companies who have supported ASHRAE's new global headquarters project. Again, thank you. This concludes our Corporate Donors and Personal Honors Awards segment. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we will recognize our personal awards for general and specific society activities and our paper awards. Our first technical session, a seminar on the fundamentals of climate change, will begin shortly. Immediately following the seminar, we encourage you to visit our sponsors in the Sponsors Hall. They will be available to chat with you one-on-one during that time. See you back in the theater soon.